there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. It's an interesting time in football, isn't it? I mean, nowadays, unlike before, it's very reactionary. Some more than others, but everywhere, you see fans being very, in the moment rather than looking from outside the box. And I have to say, even I'm guilty of it at times. We've all been guilty of it. As I've said, though, some more than others. Unlike before, I think before it was more of a case of, yeah, you know what, time, not a problem. We'll give that time. It's fine. Whereas now, one player puts in a bad performance, boom, it's all over social media. It's the end of the world. One player puts in a good performance, boom, there he is. He should be winning the Ballon d'Or. This whole context has really hit me. Why? Because of this Lukaku situation that I'm hearing about. I'm actually seeing fans pretty much turning on this guy. And I'm like, yo, come on. You can't be serious. You got to be trolling. You're bluffing. Now, some fans are going to say, oh, well, Lukaku it's not working. It's not working. And there are some valid reasons as to why they would think that, absolutely, especially since he's come back from injury. He hasn't hit the ground running at all. However, there needs to be some context to this. Some context, I mean, one week, yeah, we praise players. Next week, they're the worst thing going. They can't finish. They can't hit a barn door. They need to be sold. There needs to be a period of longevity given to really analyse a player. We look at a Timo Werner, for example. That has, a longevity amount of time. You look at the amount of time we've actually had with Timo Werner, and despite the positives that we see in him as a player, you can just see that when it comes to goal scoring in the Premier League, he's not really cut out for it, right? He's not cut out for it. And I think now we're starting to understand that. A year and a half at Chelsea is enough time to really analyse a player and to think, okay, is he up to it or is he not? So that's one. With Lukaku, though, come on. It's not even the case of he hasn't been injured. He's been injured, and his injury was worse than Timo Werner, So when Timo came back, it still had a little bit of time before Lukaku had to come back, and now he's come back, but he hasn't started the game. Why do you think he hasn't started the game? Tuchel said it himself. He's not ready. He's come off the bench, yes, he's had minutes, and, little by little, we are very cautious when it comes to injuries now, hence the injury crisis we have going. 6 players now are pretty much out. Most of them are quite out for a long time. We are very, when it comes to a Kante, for example, look how we tread so thin. We try to, really give all the time in the world to make a full recovery. We don't want to risk anything, so yeah, keep him out. Look at Kovacic. He was meant to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. It's been 6 weeks now since he's been out. We always take that little bit more time because we want players to fully recover. Look at Pulisic when he got injured. It took longer than expected. These players take longer than expected. Why? Because Chelsea have this PTSD in their heads now, because it is what it is. We don't want players to return injured. Lukaku has come back, but even Tuchel said he's not ready to start. Now, I appreciate that from Thomas Tuchel. But, tactically, right, and this is where I'm going to flip the coin here. Tactically, there is an issue. And I feel like we lack chemistry in this team when it comes to the forward line. I understand that so far this season, Thomas Tuchel has had to make changes. He's had to rotate. He's had to, bring players in, take players off, bring players in, take players off. Players get injured. Okay, play this player instead. And it just, it's a constant shift. Unlike another team elsewhere, if we look at the stability that they have, and I just wanted to show you this as an example, because regardless of the injuries we have now, when the players do come back, I think there's a lesson to be learned from all of this. We need to try and find our best 11 in a system that works for them week in, week out. When you look at Liverpool, let's just look at Liverpool. Because yes, defensively, they're not incredible, but they still have enough quality there to compensate and to make sure that they don't concede goals, so then they can remain at the top end of the table. But when you look at their attack, oh my goodness, oh my God, it's so potent, it's stupid. It's actually stupid. It's dumb. And I'm going to show you this now, and it's just going to tell you everything you need to know. Here are the top goal scorers in the Premier League so far. It's ridiculous. We've got Mo Salah on 13. And just to give you a little bit of context, he's on 13. Jamie Vardy in second on 9. He's on 9. Salah's 4 ahead of him, literally 15 games into the season. You look elsewhere, we scroll down, look at that. Diogo Jota on 8. Mane on 7. In the top 4, 3 of them are Liverpool players. And they're all banging in goals. 13, 8 and 7. It's crazy. And when you look down, to be honest, I mean, if we're talking in terms of potency, not one Man City player there, which is a bit crazy considering they don't even have a striker. But when you look at Chelsea, nothing. No Chelsea players there either. But we are meant to have strikers. We are meant to have forward men. And it's crazy when you think about it and you look at the amount of chances we do create. All of our goals are coming from our defenders. You're talking Reece James, Chilwell, Alonso at the start of the season. You're talking Jorginho at penalties. You're talking Thiago Silva. You're talking Chalobah. I mean, even Rudiger needs probably pretty much going to get on the score sheet anytime soon if this keeps going up. I mean, it's crazy. All our goals are coming from defence. We need to try and build some sort of stability in attack. We need it. Chelsea absolutely need it. Because, yes, rotation can be good in terms of, keeping players on their toes or trying to prevent injuries. But the amount of rotation we've had so far, and the injuries are there anyway. When you look at Liverpool, Klopp doesn't change his team. Except sometimes. Maybe he'll play Jota. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll start over Firmino. Maybe he won't. Maybe maybe he won't start over Fabinho. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't start over Henderson. Maybe he will. But the core is there and it never changes. When did Salah not play a game? I think the entire season he might have missed maybe 1 or 2 games tops. All competitions tops. It's crazy. And I think we need that to an extent. You need to try and find some stability. Now, with Chelsea, what's crazy is that we have loads of competitions. We even have the Club World Cup that's coming up. We are going to have our calendar absolutely smashed to pieces when it comes to the fixtures and all of that. When you look at other teams like a Liverpool, they're not far behind. And I feel like in times like this, where it looks like, when players are injured, when we need to rely on other players that we have the depth for, Thomas Tuchel needs to try and find a way to get them to blend, to gel, because right now it just doesn't look like it. When you look at Lukaku, for example, tactically, it just does not click. He attracts a lot of attention. There's always 2 defenders on him. There's no one around him to compensate for that. When you look at Liverpool, for example, if Salah attracts all the attention, well, boom, they got to keep an eye on Mane. They got to keep an eye on Jota. If Jota's not on the pitch, boom, they got to keep an eye on Firmino as well. And it's just constant. It's a constant look out. Oh, wow, we have 4 players to look out here. Yeah, we got to be careful. Not just one. With Chelsea, up in terms of the front line, you can just see Lukaku attracts 2 defenders straight away. Isn't able to really, play to his ability. And the men around him don't compensate on that. Why? Because whenever they take chances, they don't score, or they make the wrong pass, or they're selfish and they hit it into row Z. And it's just a constant mix and the melee of little factors that make one big factor. I feel like when we don't have Lukaku, for example, you have a Timo Werner, he doesn't attract that same sort of attention. So it kind of unlocks everything, which is weird. But we need to try and find a way to get the best out of a Lukaku, because let's face it, we paid a lot of money for him. We're going to be using him for a lot of games. He needs to bang in the goals, but I don't think the criticism he's receiving right now is completely warranted. At the start of the season when he came in, he was banging in those goals. Pre-injury, he was banging in the goals. No one batted an eyelid. He gets injured, comes back, doesn't perform for 2 or 3 games because he comes back from the bench. Oh, boom, he's rubbish. He doesn't know how to play football. Come on. And this is the thing. There are things that you just need to give time for. There are things in football you just need to give time. You just need to sit back and relax. Yeah? It doesn't look like it's going great. It's this sort of thing where you just need to sit back and relax and give it 5 or 6 games. Simple. You have to. There is no other way. When you can see a clear issue, tactically or whatever, okay, cool. But when a player comes back from injury like that and he's not hitting full form, you got to give it some sort of time. So the reaction that I've seen across social media and, from various voices in and around the internet is crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And I thought I would put a bit of attention to this point because I feel like we're losing our way. And I feel like we're taking everything that a lot of people have in their lives nowadays, where everything is quick and everything is easy. You know, unlike before, nowadays, to go and get some shopping, you don't even need to leave your house. Boom, bish bash bosh, okay, boom, gets delivered right to your door. Within 2 hours, it's at your door. You don't need to, travel and go crazy anymore. You don't need to go to a station to book your ticket anymore. Everything is quick and it's instant, right? You don't need to go and go to the cinema to watch a movie. You don't need to go and rent a DVD anymore. You actually put in the effort to leave your house to go and pick up a film you want to watch. Boom, bish bash boss, it's on Netflix. You ain't got to worry. There are those elements that people are bringing into the game, bringing into football, and I feel like we're losing all patience, right? Patience is needed. Now, after patience, after a long period of time, if things are not working and you can see there is something catastrophically wrong, okay, cool, you've given the time, you've given the chance. But when a lad like Lukaku comes back from injury, and I'm seeing the slander that I'm seeing, I'm like, what's going on? What is going on? Is Lukaku the right man? I feel like we won't really know that answer up until the end of the season. And I feel like we should give it that time, just like we did for Werner. And now I think we all come to the consensus that, okay, maybe he's not that right guy. With Lukaku, is it going to be the same? It's wrong to come to a decision now, whether you're pro or against. It's wrong. You can't say he is going to bang in 35 goals a season. Yes, that's all our expectation. We all kind of want that to happen, but we don't have any guarantee that's going to happen. Let's be honest. We want that to happen. That's why we say it, but we don't think it's definitely happening. You can't say that. But on the flip side, you can't say, nah, this guy's an absolute flop, doesn't know what he's doing, go back to Italy. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. We have to give it some time, just like we've given it time to other players, just like, there's a longevity that you need to take into context here. Let's just hope things work out. But I think on Thomas Tuchel's part, when it comes to a problem like this, where there are injuries, there are men missing, he needs to try and find a way to get some sort of chemistry going, some sort of blend going, because if not, we just keep dropping points very, very needlessly, very carelessly. We see loads of individual mistakes. We see loads of combinations that don't seem to work. We need to try and find a way. And if it means, reverting out of the formation and trying to get another way going, cool. So be it. When we have everyone available, cool, we go to the way that works best for us. But when we don't have everyone available that we want available, we just have to try and make things work. It's as simple as that. And yes, it sounds very easy. It's not an easy thing to do, and Thomas Tuchel has a lot of work to do, and I sympathise with him because of the injuries that we have. But just thought I would bring some context that when it doesn't look like it's working, sometimes just, take your foot off the gas a little bit, step outside the box and, give that bit of time. We have to wait. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the games that we have coming up are going to be straightforward and we pick up some confidence, pick up some form. But there is the thing in the back of my head that going forward long term, I would love if we can try and find an 11. You could factually, maybe 7, 8 players that are our core, that don't change. Find the best in those positions. And then for some of the others, you can rotate and you can mix around but just keep the foundation, keep the core. I feel like a team like Liverpool have that to an absolute T. Now, that comes with a bit of time, so obviously we have to give Tuchel that time, and this is also the other side of the coin that I wanted to share with you guys. Try and find that 11, try and find that core stability that would be so beneficial to us, because I feel like the goals that we're lacking up top comes from that. It comes from the fact that we're always changing, and as I've said, I appreciate that there are injuries, but you can't keep doing that long term. You can't. You need to try and find your best, stick with it, and let them do their thing. Let them get that chemistry and let them bond, because that is why you get goals like Salah, Mane, Jota, all of that. It's because they've got something going on and they're there every week. They're there every game. You need that. On the flip side, though, to achieve that, we need to give some time to some of the lads that are currently underperforming or that we've come to a conclusion that they're rubbish and don't know what they're doing. No. Relax. Take a seat. Sit back. Put your feet up. Get some popcorn. And let's see how it pans out. That is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Love to know your opinions on this. Tomorrow, Reddit Monday. Yes, Reddit Monday. So make sure your eyes are peeled for that one. It's going to be very interesting to see what you guys have been up to on the Reddit. If you still want to try and get your posts in the video, make sure you hit the Reddit page down below. Leave your posts on there. Make them creative. Make them funny. And if they get enough upvotes, they will feature in the video. But I will see all of you then. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. And I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new one. Have a good one. See you then. Take care and peace.